Alright, here we go, guys. Turn that on. That's my question. So, today is going to be a nice little conversation we're going to have, because honestly, this part of it has to be done. Because right now, the Savage rating community in Final Fantasy XIV, it's shutting down people's opinions. Here and on other platforms, they don't want it to get out. So they're threatening, harassing, false flagging, and doing everything else under the sun. This is not something that should be okay by the rest of the community. The rest of the community should have a voice and opinion about the matter, because it will affect them in some way, shape, or form down the line. I myself am do not believe that this is right, and that only the people involved, quote people involved, are should have a say, when in reality they should not have a say in the matter, because they're the ones that have caused this issue. They should be the ones sitting there waiting for the arbiters to come down and put the kibosh on what they're doing. Their actions and behavior shows as such that they cannot. Their actions and behavior shows as such that they cannot and will not play by the rules given that. No, hold on. Let me rephrase. Let me put that in wrong. SE has provided a set of rules that everyone is supposed to play by. And this is where the written part of it. Come back in because I messed up on it. And yet, time and time again, the same group, the same sub-community repeatedly refuses to follow the rules. In the end, when changes were made to terms of service, the terms of service made people unhappy, but at the same time, the changes did not affect the Savage rating community at all, and they continued on as business as usual. Hence, there should be another change to the terms of service again, and this time with the explicit line, with an explicit phrasing stating what should be entailed with the rating. And it should be monitored closely, especially with World's First Races, because not sponsor the races, but watch them carefully. Because there's too much going on within the Savage rating community that causes this to happen. People are not listening or following the rules. With it, the Savage rating community is not following the rules. Hence, there should be some more regulations put down on them explicitly to make sure that they comply with it. And if they fail to do so still, then you lay the ban hammer down on those players. And not just a slap on the wrist or 10-day suspension, permanent ban. Cheaters should not be tolerated on any level, no matter who they are. That's how it is. Now, how things are said, yes, my stance in the past was, yeah, I use it for myself. But seeing how this has been going on, I uninstalled everything and said, fuck it. If these guys want to continue doing what they're doing, I'll keep playing, but I'm going to keep playing legit though. I don't need all these crazy things that go on. You know how easy it was. You know how easy it was for me to install Catbot into this whole thing. It was Too easy. 2 minutes. Get the file. Install the file on ACT and have it up and running. 2 minutes. It's not very hard to do. This also creates a problem for the rest of the community, and for the community and for the game at whole. As now an arms race has started, and it's going to be a race to the bottom for Square Enix to get this under control. At the same time, while the mod makers are a step ahead of them. Put a blanket statement out with no wiggle room to dance around. You will not use any mods, any add-ons, any third-party software. This will put a straight kibosh down on it. Well, what if I'm colorblind? The comments of "I'm colorblind" come in. There's already accessibility options in the game for colorblindness. You don't need that. You don't need to make that claim. It's already in the game. You don't need it. You don't need to have any more than what you have right now. Be happy with what you have and stop crying for more. And for those folks in the community, within the 14 community, that are trying to shut down people's voices and opinions, you are scum. Censoring other players because they have a voice and opinion is not right. The community, people in the community, have the right to say what they have to say. Whatever goes on affects them as well, and should be made as such to where they have the right to say something, but not be told that they don't have a right to say anything. Because eventually it's going to come to the point where they do something stupid again, and the community is going to react, and then the Savage rating community is going to go out and start shutting down people's opinions and voices based upon that, because they don't want another black eye again. They just want to raid and not have anybody question their methods of how they do it, where a lot of their methods break the terms of service and user licensing agreement. This type of behavior should not be tolerated by anyone, least of all Square Enix and the community. This whole matter, with add-ons being used during World's First Races, unofficial World's First Races, mind you, should be taken with a considerable amount should be taken from an adult point of view, because right now a lot of these folks are acting like kids and acting like immature kids because they think they have the power to shut anybody else down who they deem as garbage or not part of the community. They are not the arbiters of who can and cannot say anything. They are not the lawmakers in our community. Everyone has the right to say something and have an opinion, whether it be good or bad. The opinions expressed by the players should be heard, not be heard from a small, vocal, and very threatening part of the community at times. These are the same Savage Raiders that have chased other content creators off. Scott Plays is a prime example, with death threats and harassment given to him to the point where he stopped playing. The community needs to start paying attention to behavior like this and start calling out the communities that they hide in. These individuals should not be any part of any community and should not be given any type of safety net whatsoever. But the Savage Raiding community gives these individuals the safety net they need to continue on with their behavior. This behavior is only going to manifest and become worse over time. When this is changed and this is fixed, then the community can probably move on to be something better. Unfortunately, the folks within this community don't want that, because they have the ear of the OCP to affect what happens to jobs. They have the ear to Square Enix, and they have the ability to ruin people's ability to play this game by false flag and brigading others outside of game using Reddit, 4chan, Twitter, and other social media platforms that they have the ability to influence and dictate who can and cannot say anything. Oh, and this platform as well. It is a shame that that I have to make a statement like this because gaming should be for everyone, full stop, in this community. And if you have the skill and the ability to do the content and the gear necessary to get into the content, there should not be any added extra barriers for entry. As it is now, it's very hard to next to impossible to join a static raid group or pickup group because of said add-ons and third-party software. This type of accessibility, I can understand that groups do not want bad players or people who buy accounts just for raiding show that they do not have the skills necessary to function within that type of environment. But it does not give them the ability to blacklist players from doing any content. In the past, there has been a blacklist that was floating around on 4chan that Square Enix found out about. Those players were banned, but came back later on after all their servers accounts were banned. That is not right, and it goes to show that they, to a certain degree, that if you ban an account, you can easily come back and start playing again. It gives no sense of security to the rest of the community that people who break the rules can easily return. At this point, it should not be about money. It should be about developing a community even more, be better than what it is now. Right now, the current status of the 14 community is not in a good place. To allow this to continue would only encourage these people and embolden them to continue with harassing, intimidating, and threatening other players to keep their voices silent and their opinions kept to themselves. This is not right, and there should be some sort of some blowback from this. Everyone in this community has a right to say something, whether it be good or bad, be a bad take, a hot take, or a cold take. It is not up to other people to decide what's good and what's bad. It is up to developers and platforms to dictate whether they're breaking the rules or not. If you do not like what these people have to say, ignore them and move on. But if you have to engage, like I've seen some people on this platform do, they are nothing more than bullies and cowards. They wish to shut opinions down that don't go with their total line ideology. This ideology is dangerous for the community because it forces everyone to have the same mindset at once instead of everyone having a dissenting opinion about something. Not everyone agrees with everything, but not everyone should have the total line to what they're saying. This type of behavior only creates more problems, and as such, it is starting to show. I have seen many people on various platforms be flagged, be false flagged, be bash reported because of their difference of opinions. Not fine by me, and most of these people that are doing it live here in America. And as a vet, as a 3 combat tour vet, and a patriot for this country, I loathe seeing this. I hate seeing this, and this should not be tolerated by anyone or anything. The community needs to stand up and say enough is enough. The 2% should not dictate over the 98%. Because this is exactly what they're doing now, is what's happening. If these folks continue, this is only going to get worse for everyone else. I repeat this again. Gaming is for everyone. Full stop. There's no hot takes on this. This is just facts that are being put out. Facts need to be addressed. Feels and emotions do not make facts. All they are is feelings and emotions. Hardcore facts and logic behind those facts what drives things forward, not only in this game, in this community, but in society in general. Breakdown of this, because feelings are more important than facts, creates a toxic environment, because anybody could say, I don't like this needs to go, and it can go. No, it should not happen. If it happens, it should not be going on.